Hi guys, Josh Lloyd here for your DraftKings NBA first look for Thursday, where we've got 4 games on. Before I get into it, go and hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the little notification bell as well. And while you're at it, give it a thumbs up. Then you'll never miss an episode. Let's talk about these 4 games now. For Thursday, first of all, we look at the Portland Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets. This is our first game of the day. Don't think we have any spreads or totals at this point for it. Let me just double check that. They've got the Rockets here 2.5 point favorites at the moment, actually. And the Blazers are going to be without Robert Covington to go along with the absence of CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic. So we're going to get another Carmelo Anthony start. It looks like Christian Wood will be returning for Houston as well. Rodney Hood and Derek Jones both probable. Kanter's at 7,100. He had 51 DraftKings points last game. Enes Kanter, 51 points. Whew. Now, he needs to do quite a bit to get to that number. I'm not sure it's the greatest, but I also know that Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins aren't the most, I don't know, how do I say it, robust defensively. So there is some value in looking at someone like Enes Kanter here. As for the crucifix himself, Christian Wood, 8,700 before his injury. He was giving us 50 a night. I don't think that he's going to be limited in minutes coming back here. So I'd be totally okay with using him at 8,700. Looks to me to be some pretty good value there at that sort of salary. Gary Trent at 5,000 started the last game, had 29 points, but he is a real hit or miss guy. It all comes down to shooting with him because he doesn't do anything else. So if the shot falls in, he could have 35. And if it doesn't, he could have 10. And that is the definition of a GPP guy. While Carmelo Anthony at 56, I actually think Melo is pretty rock solid at that price. No Covington. He's going to start. He's going to get you 26 or 27 minimum, and then it goes up from there. Lillard is at 10.6. It's high, but he is averaging 51 over the last 5. I'd like him to do a little bit more. I think we can find better options out there. Victor Oladipo at 8,100 is all right. I wouldn't say it's superb. He hasn't really hit his stride yet. Well, Johnny Wall is on that minutes limit. Now, DeMarcus Cousins, 7,200. That, to me, is one of the biggest stayaways there is. Now, he would need to play 30 minutes, and that would mean he would need to share the court with Christian Wood for the majority of his playing time. And those guys have played 2 minutes together all season. Now, Silas is waffling on, saying that, yeah, we're going to get him more minutes. I just don't see him getting enough to make sense to spend 7,200 on him. Jay Sean Tate at 46, too high. Daniel House, no thanks. And Eric Gordon at 66 is also too high. With the Rockets getting back, being healthy at the moment, it is hard to find those minutes out there. The next game has some potential blowout issues with it, and that is the Lakers and the Pistons. It is a 10.5 point spread towards the Lakers, so there is some concern there. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see Anthony Davis sit this one out. He did look like he's having some problems with his leg on Wednesday. It is a back-to-back. The Pistons aren't good, so there is a chance for him to sit down here. Otherwise, at 8,900, he looks real bloody tasty. That is a fantastic salary for Anthony Davis, 8,900, but there's a massive risk associated with it. I think we'll hear more about it before games tip, but it's one to watch. Mason Plumlee at 48. I don't really see who's getting those minutes. 48 looks good to me. Strong, solid floor option. While Derrick Rose at 54. Is Rose going to play, do you reckon? It is a back-to-back. I think there's a risk that he doesn't. While LeBron's at 10.4. I think LeBron is a solid, high-end cash game player. Schroeder at 57, not for me. Jeremy Grant at 84, probably a little bit on the high side there as well. While we could be getting Blake Griffin back, I would not recommend putting him into my lineup. Griffin at 5,900 had just 18 points last game, 23 the one before that. He did have 34 against the Hawks on January the 20th, but I just have no faith in Blake Griffin producing. The Duke Wayne Ellington's at 5,100. I think that's actually really solid. Good floor option for Ellington. He's getting minutes, he's taking shots, he's hitting shots. He's a historically good shooter, so there's value there. And watch if Derrick Rose is out, because Delon Wright is putting up good numbers when Rose is either limited or out, and that gives him some value. Now, the $6,700 price tag for Wright is a little on the high side, but I don't think that it's completely disqualifying to get him in there. Next game, we go to the LA Clippers. They're taking on the Miami Heat. We don't know whether Tyler Hero or Jimmy Butler, or Goran Dragic for that matter, are going to return. Now, Butler was on the bench with his teammates, so it looks like he's passed the protocols, and it's just a conditioning thing. I would imagine that Jim is back and ready to play in this one. Dragic and Hero, that remains to be seen. Butler's at 7,500. Now, that is a very good price usually for Jim Butler. He was struggling a little bit earlier this season. He had 60 in the game before he went out and 46 the game before that, but the ones before that were quite poor. I don't mind using him at 7,500. I think he'll play, and I think it works out. The Clippers are going to be without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and Patrick Beverley again. So Marcus Morris, who really let us down last time, I think that's going to mean people don't roster him as much. He's at $5,000. I'll use it. I think that we'll see a little bit more of Marcus Morris that we saw last game. And the 9,200 for Bam Adebayo, I reckon is a little bit too high, especially if Butler is back. Reggie Jackson, the salary is very high. $7,000 for Jackson because he had an absolute monster, 47 points in that first game. And I don't really trust Reggie Jackson to be able to maintain that level of production. And I'm sure you don't feel that way either. Ivica Zubac at 53 has been okay. I just don't really see the upside in him. While the Duck Luke Kennard at 6,500, I'd be massively into Kennard if he came in at 5,500. I'm not sure at 6,500 he is the right one to go for. It's $2,800 price rise there on him. Nick Batum, not interested. While Terrence Mann is up to 5,400. Mann put up some good numbers last game with 9 boards, 4 steals, and that gave us 31 DraftKings points. Do I think he can get to 30 again? Probably not. Those 4 steals really help. So I think he's more of a fade option here. The next game is the Golden State Warriors, and that is the last game of the night. The Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns. We don't know whether Devin Booker is going to play. He was getting shots up at shoot-around and before the game, and he was able to practice, so he should be ready to go pretty soon. Minimum salary, Kevon Looney will probably be the starting center again, and it's minimum salary. So while he's not going to be super exciting, can he get you 17? If he does, then there's real value in that. I like DeAndre Ayton at 7,800. He should be a pretty strong option. Well, Eric Pascal, who has that now, Pascal's only a GPP guy, but at 3,400, he's got that ability to be high usage, get some shots up off the bench, and put in some numbers. Curry's at 97. That looks pretty good to me, especially given the dearth of talent on this slate. Well, Draymond at 56, I care not for that. And I think Oubre at 64 is a little bit too high, as is Bridges at 6,000. Andy Wiggins is at 69. He's blocking a lot of shots at the moment. It is always hard to trust Wiggo. I don't think he's bad to use, but I'm not super into it. And then you got guys like Damian Lee, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder. Hard to get excited. Booker's at 83, so if he plays, it's at least tournament worthy. Then you got Chris Paul at 8,000, who I would only consider using if we do hear news that Devin Booker happens to be out. It's a 4-game slate, 3 of those games relatively early. Then we've got that last one, the Suns and the Warriors. So it is going to be interesting to get your lineups in there. Drop a comment down below. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. But most importantly, hit the notification bell. Check our links as well down below. And you can see the link to my channel in the title and in the description. So go and follow me over there as well. And you know where I am on Twitter at redrock_bball. Guys, good luck with your lineups. Thanks for watching. See ya.